Whether you have a used car or spanking new one fresh from the production factory, unless you buy a $10 million customized car, the likelihood of you finding a car that has absolutely everything you want is rare. You may be a die-hard fan of your car, but there are always mods you can utilize to enhance the performance and look of your love. Here are 7 best first mods for your car. 7. Tires. Tires are the easiest and most sensible first mod for your car. Just a quick stop to your local auto shop will do the trick. Depending on what function you're looking for, a change in tires can make a world of difference, especially since stock cars aren't normally equipped with the highest quality tires. The tires are the only part of the car which makes contact with the ground, so if you're looking for long-lasting, high-performance tires, they'll come at a higher price. A good, quality set of tires enhances acceleration, can help traction and gives you a much better ride. If you're looking to upgrade your exhaust, engine and suspension, but still have weak decrepit tires, all the work and money you put into your other mods will be futile. So much power will be going to tires that cannot sustain or control it. It's like asking a professional skier to compete without shoes. They may have the strength and the ability to do so, but without the best ski shoes, their feet will freeze and they won't be able to stick to their skis. That's why you should never forget how important tires are to a car and treat them well. 6. Air intake. Just like humans, cars can suffocate in harsh, hot temperatures, and adding some cool air can help them breathe better. Adding a cold air intake will provide cooler, denser air to the engine and free up airflow for a more powerful car that drives better no matter what size or type of engine you have. We can't expect a marathon runner to perform at optimum speed in a desert without at least some cold water, and that's what the air intake is giving your engine. Adding an air intake is a great first mod to not only boost performance, but add some razzle-dazzle under the hood. It is one of the easier and faster mods to complete as it's not that expensive. You can buy one for around $250 or less on Amazon or eBay. If you don't want to spend extra money going to an auto shop to install it, all you need is a lot of light, a flathead screwdriver, a wrench set that works with your car, a ratchet, pliers, a socket, and of course your cold air intake. Then get out your laptop and watch 1 or 2 of the hundreds of YouTube videos on how to install your cold air intake. It shouldn't take more than 3 hours, and hopefully by the end of it you'll have a better functioning car, and the pride that you succeeded on your own. 5. ECU. If you have a car from this century, it should definitely have an engine control unit, ECU, which can be tuned to boost performance. But if you bought your car from a sketchy old man from Craigslist claiming it's a 2020 model, we wouldn't bet on you finding the car's intelligence system. The ECU controls the fuel-to-air ratio in the engine, which helps maximize power and efficiency. But most factory ECUs aren't programmed to provide the best output of the engine's capability for safety reasons. This means there's wiggle room to tune the ECU and bring out your engine's potential. Unless you're a skilled engineer or mechanic, reprogramming an ECU can be mind-boggling, and one error can lead down a slippery slope. It's also critical to check that other aspects of your car, such as your exhaust, engine, and intake aren't too old and battered. Otherwise, reprogramming your ECU for better performance will cause issues with your problematic parts. Your best bet would be to go to a skilled tuner to see what can be done with your specific engine and car. Don't cheap out if you're looking for an ECU tune. For a good quality programming system, you won't find anything good under $2,000. And if you really want to get the best performance out of it, you'll have to pay a high price for high rewards. 4. Spark plugs. If you're on a crazy tight budget but you're dying to do just one mod to your car, getting better spark plugs are insanely cheap and not so difficult to change. Some spark plugs are just $3, with the higher end ones being around $10, so you won't have to break the bank. Although changing the spark plugs won't add a wild performance boost, it does make a great difference to the system, and a good spark plug can provide better fuel combustion, and can maybe get your grandma's 40-year-old car to start properly without banging on it and crying each time. So, if you have an electric vehicle, please don't try to add in a spark plug. That definitely won't go down well. Be careful when you're removing and installing the spark plugs from their sockets. The plugs can be delicate, so take your time screwing it in with your hands first to make sure you don't break anything. Once you're at the finish line, tighten it ever so slightly with a ratchet so as not to break the plug, And then voila, you have a nice, super easy and cheap mod. 3. Coilovers. A lot of car and speed enthusiasts are just looking for a horsepower and torque boost so that they can have an insane amount of power and speed. However, with increased horsepower and torque, it's highly recommended to improve the car's handling. Otherwise, performance will suffer and, let's face it, you probably wouldn't be able to handle the force. Coilovers can lead to a stiffer ride, but they lower your ride and can be extremely helpful in dealing with those high-speed turns on a racetrack. High-quality coilovers can be over $2,000, but with quality you can get a lightweight rust-resistant coilover with adjustable rebound that can handle a multitude of stresses and provide you with a smooth, easy handling ride. A coilover can make the difference of having the power control you or being in control of all your car's power. We'd choose to control large amounts of power any day. 2. Brakes. Having great brakes may not sound like a sexy mod, but it's truly one of the best mods you can do for your car and yourself. Plus, it's very affordable, even though you should never put a price on safety. If you're looking to speed or drift, it's imperative that you're able to stop and turn quickly and smoothly. It may not be necessary to get an entire brake fix, but replacing your brake pads can greatly improve car handling and stopping distance. Depending on the type of brake pads you buy, you can get some at $60, or if you're looking for the best quality, it'll be more in the $300 range. And you don't have to be the world's best mechanic to change out the pads. First, you need to remove the wheel, take out the slider bolt, turn the caliper up to remove the old brake pads, replace with the new brake pads, and then put everything back correctly. Don't just stop on one wheel, you've got to do them all. But don't worry, it shouldn't take over 2 hours even if you're a little incompetent. 1. Exhaust system. Exhaust upgrades may not increase performance significantly, but it's a great mod if you're looking for a macho, sexy sound to your car. And another plus is that an upgrade can increase fuel efficiency. This way, you can show off the sweet new sound without having to stop for gas as often. If you're looking specifically for performance gains, you definitely should opt for the higher quality and thus more expensive replacements with Mandrel bent pipe, where the bent pipe allows for better airflow. A stainless steel exhaust is a great investment if you want to prevent rust, but that adds to the cost of the exhaust as well. But before you decide on a specific exhaust, make sure you know your laws, as some US states don't allow specific performance exhaust to be driven on the road. So if you're caught, that definitely won't be what you envisioned for your wonderful sounding car. If your car has a ton of miles on it and your exhaust is super rusty, you may need to purchase new bolts, as the old ones are most likely worn out. Even if your mileage isn't that large, buying a new cheap gasket is a definite must, as that can help prevent leaks. When installing your shiny new exhaust, it's best not to tighten each pipe until everything is attached loosely. Then once you have everything in place, you can go back and tighten everything, and make sure you aren't hitting any components that can cause issues. At the tail end of the exhaust, take your time to center it so it's not distorted and that it looks good at the end of the car. Make sure to check for any leaks before hitting the road, and be warned that when changing an exhaust, it will stink for around 100 miles until it's burned the old oil out. So make sure you wait a little before inviting your date to check out your refurbished car.